Hi everyone. Long time. No see long time. I haven't seen you guys in a long time. Well, I haven't recorded a video to be published out in YouTube in such a long time. And it's Thanksgiving break. It's November 30th, and I decided, hey, I haven't made a YouTube video in such a long time. And so I was like, why not film one since I have the time? So I hope all of your Thanksgivings went amazing. And as you can see, this is my room. My, obviously, a childhood room. It's been used a lot in the past few years that I've been here. I've shared a room. I used to share this room with my sister, my older sister. Now she goes to the room next to me. She sleeps in the room next to me. But I have some hot cocoa in this mug. Should I do a little tapping? And I made it at like noon today. Why at noon? I don't know, but I might sip it throughout this video. I might not. I might just get into this topic so much that I won't even remember that I have a cup. Also, if you hear some vibrations, that is my watch. I didn't want to silence it before I started filming, but whatever. It is it's 5:16, and so yeah, I guess we should just hop into just the big chunk of this video. I also want to show you my sweater. I have a random sweater with me right now. I just took it out of my closet. It's also very cute. Look. But yeah. So today we are going to talk about goodbyes. And why do we hate them so much? So first off, I wanted to start off with a quote from Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie. Never say goodbye. Because goodbye means going away. And going away means forgetting. Today's title of the video is The Philosophy of Endings. Why do we hate goodbyes? And that's a really long title for a topic that really isn't that long. So let's just dive in and get right into it. Goodbyes. They're one of the hardest words to say, aren't they? Whether it's parting ways with a friend, finishing a chapter in our lives, or letting go of a dream, endings, more often than not, they feel like more than just the closing of a chapter. They often feel like a part of us is slipping away. But why is that? Philosophers, poets, and even ordinary people like me and you, we have spent centuries wondering and thinking about endings. But this is one thing that we can all agree on, hopefully. Endings are not just transitions from one page to the next, one chapter to the next. They are emotional experiences. So, let's explore this. Why do we hate goodbyes? Is it about the loss? Or is there something deeper at play? P.S. I'm pretty sure there's something deeper. Now, I hope you understand this, but endings hold a unique power. Just like the beginning and middle of a story, endings are powerful, and they're very unique, just like each and every one of you. In stories, whether it's a novel or a film, the ending is what gives its narrative the meaning. You know how in Romeo and Juliet both die? But that ending could have been written differently. William Shakespeare could have chosen for Romeo and Juliet to both live, but sadly, both of their lives were taken. And if William Shakespeare had written it differently, then we would have a completely different mindset regarding Romeo and Juliet. But an ending is where the journey comes to a full circle. It's where the characters grow, and where sometimes unresolved questions are finally answered. But it's also where we face the uncomfortable truth that everything must end. Nobody likes endings. But I want a little bit of audience, I want the audience to think about something. So think about your favorite book or your favorite movie. Think about the ending. Can you spend a few moments thinking about that? You done thinking? Alright. So the ending, no matter how satisfying or unresolved, it makes us humans have strong emotions. But why is that? Well, it's because endings represent closure. And closures can either be one of two things, or a third thing is applicable. Closures can either be comforting, painful, or bittersweet. It's comforting because it signifies completion. However, it's also painful because we often don't want to let go. But why don't we want to let go? It's because it's close to us. It holds purpose in our souls, in our lives. And in life, it is exactly the same. We despise, and we try to diminish, and we absolutely hate goodbyes because they remind us that change is inevitable. Change will always happen. And that every single moment that we cherish, it's all bound to end. Or maybe it's that every moment that we cherish has limits. We fear endings because they confront us. They make us face with our vulnerability, our morality, and the unknown of what comes next is often scarier than the loss itself. That's something that I had to think about a lot. In movies and in books, you either see or read or hear someone say, I don't know what I would do or I don't know what I will do without you. Once we have accepted or acknowledged, understand, or even just notice what we are losing or what we have lost, we are more scared of what's going to happen next once that thing we cherish is gone. But why is that? Why? Well, hopefully I don't butcher this philosopher's name, but philosopher Heraclitus, he once said that the only constant in life is change. My history teacher actually once told my class that there are two constants in life: change and death. Now, while it's not the exact same as what philosopher H said, maybe that's the core, the foundation, the heart, the base of why we try our best to resist goodbyes. We want things to stay the same. We want to be at equilibrium. We want to be at a state of homeostasis. It's because we find comfort in what we think is familiar, in what we know is familiar to us. And when something or someone important to us ends, it feels like we're being pulled away from something that we depend on. And the sense of stability is threatened. But why do we depend on things? Why? The world tries to tell us to be independent, to be versatile. But they also tell us that we need to be able to depend on someone, to talk to someone whenever we are in need of help, to rely on something. We are dependent on the things that we find comfort in. But here's kind of a flip side to endings. Endings aren't all bad. Can you believe that? It's because endings are also beginnings. Have you ever heard the quote or the little phrase, when one door closes, another one opens? That's because every goodbye, it marks the start of something new. Even if it's not as clear as mud at first. It's because every closure opens the door for new opportunities, growth, and fresh experiences. And I think that's a significant lesson that everyone often forgets. Because we are thick in the gravitational pull of our emotions. So should we start thinking more logically? Or should we find a balance between when to act through our knowledge and when to act through our emotions? Scratch that. It's not if we should act with our knowledge. It's whether we should act through our wisdom. Because since endings opens the door for fresh experiences, It gives us an opportunity to grow, to gain wisdom. Isn't that so cool? How endings aren't just a valuable lesson to teach regarding the past, but it's also a lesson on how to grow and to restart. So, maybe the reason we struggle with goodbyes isn't because of what we are losing, but because of what we are afraid of gaining. Or maybe we're afraid of the journey to gain. Change will always be unsettling. It always will be. But letting go requires trust that what will happen next will be just as meaningful as what the past means to us, even if it's different. So, for my last words, I wanted to say that in the end, goodbyes are a part of what makes life so precious. They remind us to cherish the present, to appreciate the people and the moments we have now, because they won't last forever. And maybe, just maybe, that's exactly what makes life worth living. Thank you so much for watching my video and for tuning in to, because I haven't posted in such a long time. I appreciate you being here, and I will try to post more frequently if I can. However, that is all that I have for you all today. Thank you so much again. And I have one last thing to say. What do you think about goodbyes? Are they really the end? Or just a new beginning? See you all next time.